He will be a first ballot in the first moment that he is available to be such. All new episodes of Adventure Capitalists. Tuesday, October 10th is when Season 2 premiered, only on CNBC, Tuesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. Tony Gonzalez, good to see you, Tony. How you been?
I'm doing well, Rich. How are you?
I'm doing great. Better for seeing you here.
Sorry for being late. Or was it considered late, or did you guys rearrange everything?
We rearranged. Joe was it? Look, we're all one happy family.
You guys are so
Me,
good.
you, and Joe Buck.
I love it.
We go way back.
I love it.
So,
I love it. I went over to the NFL Network instead of here.
Yeah, but
so.
you've been here before.
I know.
Right?
You know.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
What are you apologizing for? You're here.
Can I get it? I can't get it.
Better now than never.
By the way, over at the NFL Network, there's a lot of pictures of you around there, though.
Well,
it's pretty impressive.
I've been there since day one.
Is that what are you going for there? Like, is that?
Yeah,
it's like a little shrine. You must feel so good when you walk in that building right there.
There's no
it's
shrine.
Like
it's not
30
like
feet.
They're not burning incense in front of my 40-yard dash photograph that they have. So when you got there, did they say, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah, a lot of people. I was a little shocked. I was like, "Is there no greeter? Where's the greeter?"
Well, but yeah, it's definitely not the red carpet you're used to having rolled out for you. What did you make of the Chiefs' loss this past week, Tony? What do we glean from what we saw the Steelers were able to do to them again? What do you think?
You know what? Like I said it before. I don't subscribe to that whole "they're in our mind" or "they got our number." At least for me as a player, I never thought that way. I mean, maybe other people do, but for me, it was always they just kicked our butts, and that's what happened to them. They got their butts kicked, especially in that first half. Offensively, they didn't look good. I could imagine Coach Tomlin saying to his team before the game, "We are going to go in there and play physical." And we're going to play on the line and maybe even over the line. Now, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I could see that happening because of the way those guys played on Pittsburgh. The defensive side of the ball, they were hitting Alex Smith. He got 2 personal fouls, called him, and an incredible cheap shot.
Mike Mitchell,
I hope he gets suspended, fined, because that was ridiculous. But I'm not saying the coach told him to do that, but they were revved up for this game going against the #1 team, and they kicked their butts. That's all there is to it.
Well, Mike Mitchell sometimes doesn't need to have somebody to tell him to play that way, but there were some that thought that he was hit by his teammate from behind that had him clip into Alex Smith's lower leg. You disagree with that assessment?
I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that at all. Yeah, I mean, you're a professional football player. We lift a lot of weights every day, and that one little pinky on the back is going to make you fall down. I don't. Whatever it is, maybe I don't know. But the way it looked right there, I'm not buying it, and I hope repercussions are handed down for that because that could have ended Alex Smith's career. Let alone the season.
What did you make of Anthony Barr's hit on Aaron Rodgers? Do you think that was dirty?
Nah, I don't think so. I think that's football. I see why Aaron got mad. Maybe he felt like he gave him a little extra sauce for no reason. But that's football. Once you get out of the pocket, and as a quarterback, you have to understand that this is what comes with the territory. And you are now a eligible runner, and especially Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you don't want to take any chances letting him make plays with his feet, so you better come with some special sauce, like Anthony Barr did right there. It's unfortunate what happened to my Cal Golden Bear. I think Aaron Rodgers is the best player in the NFL, flat out, bar none. He's the best player in the NFL right now, and it's sad that we're going to have to go the rest of the season without him, seeing how far he could take that team.
Yeah, I mean, him, J.J. Watt, Odell Beckham, all done for the year.
Yeah.
You've got David Johnson that got hurt from the get-go. Do you see, is there something going on that we don't know, or is this just coincidence? To what do you owe so many named players going down in one
I don't
season?
know. I don't know. I mean, I've been looking at the injuries this year, and especially the first, through the first 5-6 games this season, and it's like injuries are all over the place. Not even just the faces of the league. A lot of non-contact football injuries, and it makes me wonder: is it the cleats? Is it the bigger, faster, stronger guys? I mean, guys are so big and fast and strong. Maybe their ligaments can't handle just cutting like what happened to J.J. Watt. Nobody's been really around it. You're just cutting, but 295 pounds running a 4.5 or 4.6, whatever he runs. Maybe those ligaments can't handle it. I don't know what it is, but it's sad. It's a big hit for the league, the faces of the league, but. Guys are going to step up. I have no problem, knowing that somebody's going to go out there and step up, and new stars are going to be born.
Tony Gonzalez is here. When we come back, we'll talk about his show, Adventure Capitalists, on CNBC Tuesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Talk a little bit more football. Joe Montana, the big Cubs fan and actor, will be here in studio hour number 3. Back with TG in a moment. CNBC is home to Adventure Capitalists that now has Tony Gonzalez in the mix this year. Tony here on the Rich Eisen Show. And so we just saw you on a mountain bike. What else have you done with Adventure Capitalists?
I thought actually the clip you're going to show, this guy from Costa Rica who went down there, and I think he did a lot of drugs or something because he was out of his mind. And he was the most lovable guy you ever seen. Shrooms, I would think. And
that would be your guess?
That would be my guess.
Okay.
I went to Berkeley, so I could tell. And he made this lazy boat that is battery powered, like it's a hammock on a canoe, and you just push a button. It was hard to control for me.
Right.
But he was out of his mind. It was fun though. It was fun.
But you survived it. You're all in one piece.
I survived. And the whole bidding going, back and forth, trying to bid to invest with these people.
Right.
It was good.
And
it was good.
so it's kind of like a Shark Tank similar situation, but outdoors components to it and Adventure Capitalists.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. I don't know how they chose me to do it because every investment I've done, except one, have been whoppers. Have not really worked out well for me. So
maybe you could pick something up on it. You could leave it other than just being bruised black and blue, and you're all done with it. Again, that's Tuesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on CNBC. When was the last time you got a phone call to see if you wanted to play football?
My first year out. After that, it was done.
Who called you?
I can't tell you that.
Why?
I can't.
Why?
Because.
Why? So
they were good teams. Really good teams.
How long have you been gone from the NFL now? I can't even tell. 3 years now?
3 years.
3 years gone.
This is 3 years.
That's fine. Statute of limitations gone. It's finished. It's finished.
You don't think so?
It's definitely finished.
One team was green. The other team was blue.
Okay. So
blue.
Okay. So
and
green.
Silver.
Definitely not the Jets because you'd have just said them.
Packers.
Packers called you? The Packers called you?
I can't say.
That's a yes.
Green.
That's a yes.
Okay.
Cowboys.
Blue Giants. Giants called you?
I can't say.
Yeah, wow. Packers and Giants. All right. Good job,
Eisen
Rich.
show exclusive.
Good job. I tweet that out right now? I tweet that out?
No tweeting.
What's the problem?
Fire emojis?
What's the problem? Because you
I don't
don't
know.
want to offend your Michael Finley? I mean, let's be honest here.
I don't know. I don't even know why I can't tell. I need to talk to my manager. Can I call my manager or my agent?
Constance is texting you right now. Get off that set.
She's like,
because the reason why I'm wondering is, do you think Tony Romo got a call this week from the Packers? Do you think they just kicked that tire?
I would think, yeah. Why not? Why not? I would. I'd call him up and see where his mind is at. But he's fragile too. I just don't know if his body could handle a football season. You see, the guys are dropping like flies.
They are. I know, but just seems to me that Kurt Warner got calls. Peyton Manning got phone calls.
Yeah.
I would proper say Favre got a call or two in his first year. Jay Cutler
got a call. so nothing against my boy Jay, but it hasn't really worked out for him that well.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with it. But Tony Romo, Jay Cutler, Tony Romo, career-wise, everything. Come on. I bet for sure he got a call this week. And I bet he's gotten a lot of calls since the season has started because the guy's a capable quarterback. He's a great quarterback.
So when the not Packers and not Giants called you not at all, did you give any consideration to it? Did you think about it? Did you have to think about it?
No, I didn't have to think about it. I was done. Football is tough. I don't miss the physicality, the emotional drain that football has. The only way I know how to play it, I couldn't give that anymore. I couldn't do it. Of course, I can go out there physically. I mean, I could do it, but it would take a lot of work and pain emotionally. It wouldn't be worth it because it's a 6-month commitment. I mean, more than that. It would be something that I couldn't do.
Yeah, I mean, and Mike McCarthy just absolutely got offended by the notion. Kaepernick's name was mentioned, and I think it has nothing to do with whatever is going on with Colin. It just had to do with, hey, I know my quarterback room. I know how to groom quarterbacks, and that's who I'm sticking with. It's the way I took it from Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
So, but Romo, just to me, would definitely merit just at least one phone call to see what's going on.
I would call him up too, even though he's doing an outstanding job in the booth. I would see what his price is, or I don't know,
just to see.
You think it's a price thing? I don't know.
I don't know. I think it is exactly what you're talking about. Like, why would he leave this job where he wins every week essentially, and he is not getting hit to go do something like that?
It's so cozy in the booth in the studio. Look at you right now. You look so cozy.
Don't you think of my green sweater?
Yes.
Just like the team that did not call you? The Eagles didn't call him, right, Brockman? The Eagles
Oh,
didn't
no,
call
it's
him.
definitely the Packers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seahawks call? I didn't call him. The Seahawks.
No, because they would have had Jimmy Graham at that point.
We're talking like Tony's not sitting here anymore. You really
I'm right here.
He's right there. And he's-
Or you could just tell us, Tony. It's fine.
Can't tell you. Can't tell you.
He did tell us. Let's be honest.
Saving it for the book.
Hour number 3, Tony's going to stick around. I do want to hit him on a couple other hot button subjects in the National Football League before Joe Montaigne joins us. That's hour 3 here on the show. We have Tony Gonzalez chilling out here for yet another segment here on the Rich Eisen Show. Good to see you once again, sir. You good?
Yeah,
Everything
good.
good?
Decisive or pivotal.
That's it. They're either decisive game 5s or pivotal game 5s.
Deep thought
Are
right
you a
there.
baseball fan at all,
No.
Tony?
No.
Never once? Is that one sport you ever even tried?
Never tried it.
Really?
Never.
What'd you pick up first, a football or a basketball?
Football, and then I found basketball and fell in love with it, and then football chose me. Back
Okay.
and said, no, you're not going anywhere.
So are you a basketball aficionado still? Would you consider that? At all?
Do I follow the NBA? Do you mean like
Yes.
something like a fan?
Yes.
Not as much.
Okay.
But I do. Yeah. I watched some of the games last night.
So I'm going to try this one on for size with you. With Lonzo Ball making his debut here in Los Angeles tomorrow for the Lakers. Chris Webber was on the show just a couple of days ago saying what a lot of people are saying about what Lonzo Ball could be and what he reminds them of is Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that assessment, knowing Kidd as well as obviously you do?
Yeah. I actually had a chance to watch him play last year at UCLA. And first thing when you see it, the passing ability, the court awareness, just like Jason Kidd, except he's a little skinnier, but he jumps a lot higher. You know, this he can fly too. And so I think you're going to get that extra component. It's like the evolution of Jason Kidd, where you're going to get the athleticism along with it. So it's they keep getting better and better. And it's like me playing tight end back in the day, and you can say to yourself, well, the future tight ends that are coming in, they do this, what Tony did, but then they do this better. And that's how it should go. That's how it should go.
And plus his shot looks a little bit like Kidd's, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Kidd's it was kind of like a don't try this at home.
Yeah. It's
Type
probably
shot,
not what
right?
you're trying to. I have a little 7-year-old. I'm trying to teach him how to play. I'm like, don't watch that guy. You want to watch the old. Who had the prettiest shot ever in history, NBA history? It was.
Well, you could go. Well, Jamal Wilkes was one. If you really want to go way back to Silk, who would you say, Brockman, the prettiest shot
Prettiest shot, just
in the NBA?
Ow!
Right now?
Or just
Ever, like,
ever that you've seen?
Ray Allen.
Ray Allen.
Yeah.
Ray
I
Allen.
agree. What about Larry Bird? Did you like? Even though it
Larry
looks
Bird
a little
was
funny,
a little unorthodox.
Yeah.
It wasn't like your traditional, I'm going to teach my kid how to shoot. Take a look at Larry Bird.
Like Reggie Miller too, right?
Yeah, like Reggie Miller had kind of an ugly jump shot. Like Lonzo Ball is probably the ugliest jump shot in the NBA.
doesn't matter, all right? If it goes in,
If it goes in, it really doesn't
If it
matter.
goes in.
Del Curry had a very pretty jump shot.
See, I knew you'd come up with one of them. How about Emil Carr? How was his jump shot?
Emil Carr, really great at the towel
He was
waving.
very good at the towel waving. And Joe Montaigne is going to come out here shortly. You just chatted with him in the break.
my mom is gonna freak out. They're both from Chicago.
Yeah.
My mom is literally. It's gonna make her day. I took a little photo.
Is
with
that
her.
right?
Yeah,
He
she's a
came
good
out
friend.
here. He was talking about Criminal Minds, and
Yeah.
maybe you can get a shot.
Give
on
me a shot,
Criminal
man.
Minds.
Put me on there.
See, if you do that and you win your Emmy Award for best, I guess guest appearance.
Yes,
I have to be in the acceptance speech.
you will no doubt be there, Rich.
I appreciate that. Who is the best team in the NFL right now? Tony Gonzalez.
The Kansas City Chiefs. I'm still going to go with them, even though they got their tails whipped up on, because they still had that game. They were still in that
Yes, they
game.
did. And that tip drill catch that Antonio Brown got, that was really something else. That was remarkable.
It was remarkable. But still, for them to be in that game at the end and have a chance to win it, I still think they're the best team. Alex Smith has turned a corner as a player this late in his career.
Right.
And it was MVP going into that game. And probably since Aaron Rodgers got hurt, I would still say he's in the lead for MVP so far this year.
And Kareem Hunt, even though he was stuffed in a manner that we haven't seen that yet by the Steelers and Tyreek Hill, they have playmakers all over the place. Why can't the Steelers, though, do you think, continue to improve? Le'Veon Bell appeared to be Le'Veon Bell for the first time all year. Obviously, he's gotten his sea legs under himself now that there's no more holdout that has maybe held him back from being himself earlier. What about them? to be the rest of the way here.
I really like them, but it hurts me to say this because I know him personally, and he's a Hall of Famer. It's Ben. He's not playing how he used to play. It does not look like that Hall of Famer that we've seen in the past. And he'd be the first one to say it. He's second guessing himself, saying, I don't know if I got it. All the drama that's going on in that locker room. But for me, it comes down to him. He's got the keys. And if Le'Veon Bell needs that many carries and can do that, then keep turning around and handing the ball, take the ball out of Ben's hands, which is something who would have thought anybody would ever say. And maybe we're looking at this could be his last year in the NFL. He's been talking about retiring, but if he keeps playing like this, I think it's going to be kind of it's time for you to retire anyway.
Well, I mean, second guessing himself. You really see that on film? You see that when you're watching this right now?
After the game, and I don't know the context of how many questions. You know how it is as a player. You keep getting asked the same question over and over, and then you're kind of like, I just want to get out of here. So maybe it's one of those things that, I just want to get out. Maybe I don't have it anymore. But he said it.
And I proffer to say you probably never had a 5 turnover game in your life or career, which is what he had on that day. Mm-hmm. But when he did kind of flippantly say that, a lot of people put that together as 2 with the 2 of what he said in the offseason.
Yep.
That I'm on the 1 year every year Favre plan, basically wondering if I should play. Did you ever go into a game thinking maybe I don't want to do this anymore towards the end of your career?
No. No. That last year we went to NFC Championship game. I was going to retire that year, especially if we got to the Super Bowl. I was like, it's over for sure, and we didn't go. So I was still going to retire until Mike Smith came out and talked me into coming, like, hey, you know what, we got a good team. And I saw the team, and I went back and played. And because of that, though, I had a pretty good season. I went to the Pro Bowl. I still played well. But throughout that whole season, it was a grind because I put that in my mind already. And it was there, even though I tried to get rid of it. But once it's in your mind, it's so hard to not think the grass is greener, okay? Especially when you start losing and things start not to go your way. You start to second guess yourself, and it's tough. It's a mental uphill battle that Ben is going through right now because of what he has said, I think. And so, but it doesn't mean he can't get out of it. I think he still can go out there and turn this around. But right now, even that tip drill. We talked about the tip drill.
Yeah.
That was a bad pass.
Should have been picked.
It was a bad pass, and it could have lost the game for them. And then what would have happened then? What would the media have been saying then? Obviously, it didn't go that way. So I wish the best for Ben. I think they got a hell of a football team. If he can get close to where he was, this is a team that could go to the playoffs, and they could win the Super Bowl.
Couple more minutes left with Tony Gonzalez. Again, check him out on Adventure Capitalists on CNBC every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. What's wrong with the Falcons? Do you think they do have a Super Bowl hangover?
No.
Because that's all going to be talked about this week.
Yep.
Taking the Patriots on Sunday Night Football. They just blew a 17-point lead against an AFC East team, which is 8 points fewer than we all know. We don't need to go there again, but they're going to hear it all week, today, tomorrow, etc.
And they should. They deserve it. I'm in. Matt's a good friend of mine, and so I keep tabs on him and how he's playing. He has not played how he did last year. Maybe Kyle Shanahan has a lot to do with that. He was a hell of an offensive coordinator. But Sarkisian and him, I think, are going to keep getting on the same page. They'll keep getting better. They'll keep tweaking that offense. And I like Matt. I still think I think some of those balls are the ones that have been intercepted. It's not entirely his fault to catch the ball to the receivers. Like the one that got picked last week. I think at least knock it down. But I thought maybe that Austin Cooper should have caught that. But since I am an analyst and I get paid for this,
yes, sir,
I will critique Matt. I will say this, and Sarkisian as well. Throw the ball to Julio Jones.
What's going on?
That could make things a lot better if you just throw the ball to Julio Jones.
How has he not gotten in the end zone yet this year?
I don't get it, because if you look at Antonio Brown, he gets double-digit targets week in and week out. Julio Jones so far this year has had one game where he gets double-digit targets. And I know Matt prides himself on spreading the ball around, being that point guard. But for me, if I got Michael Jordan on my team, here you go. Go make a play. And I'm going to keep throwing it up, because good things will happen if you keep trying to feed Julio Jones the ball.
So is that on the quarterback, or is that on the OC?
I think it's on everybody. It's on Julio Jones. Don't take him out the game. Because if that's me, I'm not going to throw a water cooler at Antonio Brown, but I'm going to go into that offensive coordinator's room, and I'm going to say, I want to meet with you. I want to meet with Matt. How can we get this right? At least line me up out there, bring everybody to the other side, and just throw me a deep ball. Just say go, and let me go. Let me see what I can do. Just throw it up in the air, because it's all of them. It's Sarkisian, Matt, and Julio that need to get this fixed, and they need to get it fixed quickly because they got a great football team that could win a Super Bowl.
Last one for you here before Joe Montana comes out here on the show. I allow myself one moment per week to have a hot take in this world, in this show.
What is that, like menopause or something?
I would say, yes, one hot flash per week. And mine was but there is a germ of belief in it. I'm not willing to normally, outside the construct of that one hot take moment, say that I totally believe it. But my hot take was that the Cowboys are missing the playoffs. Sitting here at 2-3 right now, where Zeke may be in, maybe not. He's definitely in this week.
Yeah.
But you take a look at how well the Eagles are playing. I don't think they're winning the division, and they're already behind the 8 ball against the Rams and Packers, who might be in the wild card hunt themselves, and they're not making the playoffs. What would you say to that?
You know what? Part of me, I want to agree with you. That's a good take. They don't look like the team they were last year. The offensive line isn't as good as they were last year. Ezekiel Elliott is struggling because of that and because of the mental side that I'm sure he's going through. So I would say that is a very, very quantified take, and I agree with you.
So, okay. So I should remove it from the hot take category? Medium?
Yeah, medium.
Medium. Like medium spicy?
Keep like the oven. You keep turning on the light to look at it, make sure it's done, but it's about to come out.
Tony, love having you on, man. Thank
you
for coming anytime. As you know, these doors are open for you. Adventure Capitalists, again, premiered season 2 last Tuesday, 2 Tuesdays ago, 10 p.m. Eastern on CNBC. Check out Tony Gonzalez, Tahani Jones, and all the adventure capitalists on that show on CNBC.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.